well. So in the end, your prediction of Cassante was correct, albeit slightly delayed and with a bit of creativity in terms of the champion coming out. Zehen in the jungle, something that's going to be pretty exciting to watch. But
yeah, we might have a fight for Scuttle Crab here as both teams are looking to move in. Razork, no flash, crucially.
Good vision, bit of a disconnect from Lost, but an upset as they turn back onto Paris. Paris isolated. Aftershock about to fall away, but it's first blood on the top side of the fight is, unsurprisingly, the flashless Xin. A pretty easy target for Navi to punish.
A great play by their...
It's nice to see kind of tangible coach impact, because we know that Gota 1...
Navi versus LR, where LR as well, their strategy was just to stack Drakes every single game, but Navi just got the better hand of him and got all 4 Dragons that game, and it's just such a tried and tested strategy and give them no real opportunity to return.
And I think part of the reason it seems pretty easy for Navi to implicate new picks is we see Relech moving in the bottom lane. Does still have access to the ultimate, the Grim Deliverance. Zombie caught out under the tower, but massive damage and loss. The Zombie needs to get out from under the tower. It looks like he might just go down the barrier. Not enough. I don't know if Zombie understood that he was tagging, but he might just be happy with his trade deal because Relech is going to get right back up. And Upset is sure as hell dead.
Beautiful dive from Navi. They were not done with the bot lane just yet.
Be a little bit embarrassing for the rest of the junglers in the league.
They're looking for a gank in mids.
Poby, quick slide, but back into enemy territory. Flash away from the shockwave is good. Relech on the way in. Dash forward, flash connecting. The stun is massive onto Vladdy. Razork not able to interrupt it. The ulti not in range. Navi.
Oh my god, Paris, I love the flash forward there. Just ulting Vladdy, who has no flash himself, able to take him down. Just the confidence that we're seeing from Navi this game. They're willing to take every single play that they see, and it's working out wonderfully thus far for them.
I mean, they're quickly starting to snowball this game. Relech going for a bit of a skirmish against Razork. He should be fine to get out of this one, though.
Hospital hooking in, Grim Deliverance takes it back to the wall, but Paris is still committing to the fight. Now Relech is going to return to the fight. They feel confident enough. Poby's coming in, they're going to have the man advantage. Paris is still alive! Lock into the Iron Solari, all that extra money! Making him that much stronger, and it's a double kill for Relech.
I love how the communication...
The worry as well is if he goes topside, then his bot lane just gets dove again. So it's a tough situation for Fnatic, and especially when you're playing this Renekton. Unless you're able to get a huge gold lead, it's so hard to have an individual carry potential as the champion just doesn't scale that well.
And you can even see there.
So just like to think of Renekton and his scaling as how many short-range champions is he against? Oh, and speaking of one of those long-range champions.
Poby on the way up. Flash forward from Manger, getting the extra slow coming from the W, and now he's taking down Emperos.
HP, he's now down to 50%. Vladdy is slowly working towards this tower. Maybe if they can secure it first tower of the game at the very least for Fnatic.
This feels like such a big morale loss as wait. We have a TP coming in here, Fnatic.
Paris using the Eclipse, trying to stay as tanky as possible. Second TP is going to be a little bit late from the side of Navi. Vladdy trying to make a difference. A nice flash over, but he still gets caught!
Wait, I thought it was the Renekton, but the Renekton's still dead.
That was a bad TP.
That was an ambitious TP for sure.
All right, we're going to take it down a notch.
You thought you flashed this one. Nope. Scooped you back in.
That he did. Guys, Navi, they're replicating the early game success the last time these two teams faced up against each other. Fnatic, however, really going to need to pull a rabbit out of the hat on this one because...
I mean, do we have those early game stats?
Because in the regular season, first and first tower, first and first Drake, first and Drake percentage, first and Herald percentage, Fnatic...
They also got a first blood in this game.
Trailing in every metric, and that pattern has continued into playoffs. Best of 3 has not been that moment of revitalization yet, even this is only a single game. These are tough numbers that are being reflected in our first game.
I think a great clickbait title is the Fnatic had 0 first Drakes in the whole regular season. And they didn't get a single Drake yet this game, so they're keeping that record up. As now, finally, it's the Renekton TPing behind. Let's see if they can do something with it.
TPing in, follow from Upset now to kill Paris. Poby trying to hold the line underneath the Sun Disc here. Pushback is good, on to 3. Relech now looking to follow. Got to be ready with the Grim Deliverance. Z instantly tries to turn the fight back. Zombie already taking down Upset. 1v1 between Razork and Zombie, but it's Relech versus the world as he wants to keep fighting. The revive not there anymore. They're crucially well timed by Fnatic to find the shutdown. Zombie also not winning out on the 1v1 with the Xin as Razork just keeps going. One more auto to do it. Zombie praying for a miracle. One more auto. It's Zombie! Oh my God! With the big one! You misplace them. No matter what kind of lead you have, it's pretty easy for Fnatic to cut you out. That said, control, Odo said it on the analyst desk. That's what he wants to see for Navi. And for the most part, outside of that play, we have seen it as there's a 1v1 topside, but more importantly, the third Drake now picked up. That said, Zombie, Paris on the top side, completely isolated despite the fact that their team is taking Drake. Bit of a risky gamble. Upset goes over the wall. He wants redemption. He'll 1-for-1. It's fight night for the 80 carries. His main turret is also going to fall. Navi want to keep fighting for some reason, as Relech and Poby are desperate to turn this around, keep the numbers in their favor. They're currently down 1. Relech is powerful. Grim Deliverance there, wants to finish off Razork. Doesn't quite hit with the Dark Glaive, needs to follow up. Poby with an instantaneous pushback could be enough. Shockwave from Vladdy is good, but the damage really isn't there. Soldier sent over the wall. Relech continuing to stack the passive, and it looks like the fight will finally fizzle.
It's a 3 for 3 at the end of
Fighting
it.
over Prio here. Bot wave pushing in the favor of Navi for now, but Fnatic look like they want to force
their
the
way
fight.
in.
Mainter caught out, definitely not the ideal tanky target, but if Navi fight into that choke point, the Orianna can have a big effect. They're trying to split Vladdy off from the rest of the team. Relech hasn't been able to get involved though. Paris heal coming out just to get him out. Fnatic happy to have the poke, did just fist fight their way into the river. First access to the Drake now.
I like this a lot. Just don't care about the vision, rush towards the dragon. They now have control, and here comes the TP.
TP behind. Hook onto Paris. Fnatic want to turn. Poby has been locked up. Emperos now trying to follow. Relech wants to make the difference as Lost gets lower and lower. Main turn to the entire team. Razork zoned away. Razork down. The Dragon still standing as Emperos tries to make the difference, but he's been forced back. Poby to pick up the kill. Relech still standing. The revive coming in. Navi devastating Fnatic in the fight as they set their sights on the soul.
And Relech does so much damage in the back lines there and buys so much time with the revive.
Even using the shockwave, which is the most surprising thing to me. Like, I felt like there were opportunities.
Dire straits for Fnatic.
But a super clean game overall for Navi.
Again, credit to Navi for not getting too caught up trying to force their way in initially on that play. Because, as you highlighted, Vladdy was in a great spot for the shockwave. If they had tried to force through that choke point, they might have lost. They waited, they took the time for the TP, and now well rewarded for it. Not looking to make the same mistakes the last time we saw these two teams play, even if they did maybe fumble around the top side a little bit earlier. That has really...
Navi can just continue playing it slow, letting the Nash do the work for them. They can get this bot inhib, and then look to recall and play mid and top.
Flashes also not too...
Eliminate the game plan for Fnatic moving forward, or do they double down and instead say, no, we just executed poorly game 1, we just need to run it back?
You already know they're doubling down. Come on, it's Fnatic.
Seems like that's probably the call as the ulti's going to come out. Grim Deliverance is a Grim Escape here for Relech. Nice to be unstoppable in that moment. Now this entire Navi lineup is... Look, we're running out of things to say, so thank God they're going to start fighting, because this should just be the final push for Navi. It is best of 3 though. Maybe they don't want to take any risks. Tutorial style.
It's best of 3, so they don't want to win too fast. Oh, as a fight happens here.
As Razork now going to the backline. Nice shockwave to follow, but the solar flare on top stops any potential follow-up to the jungle top of Fnatic. In the meantime, Upset's been entirely split away from the team. He just can't even auto-attack. It's a double kill for Relech. Mainter has isolated somebody else. I didn't even see who, and frankly, it doesn't matter. Navi in game 1, 11K ahead from start to finish. They have been dominant here. Fnatic sent packing, sent back to the drawing board for game 2 as Navi on the road to a quick 2-0.
And Navi, they got all 4 Drakes. They played the same style as...
Might have changed that one for the resume, by the way. Jaxplank's a hell of a name, but it doesn't always spell success in the pro scene. That's at Emperos is Renekton's impressive. We'll see what the Jax can do.
Navi are continuing just their consistency at controlling this objective. That's all Ahri players complain about. You just need a little bit more AP and you can one-shot the caster minions.
Well, Relech has been caught out. The Pantheon has come online. They go golden to give themselves an extra moment, but it just gives time for Lospa to go in. Paris not going to connect on the stun. The exhaust is down into Relech, but he's still managing to connect the Qs for a little bit of extra healing. Poby forced to dash away. A Genji logo appears, and down go Navi. Paris on the way out. Razork debating, but a nice pick from the side of Fnatic.
And Fnatic finally making use of those globals with the Talia ulti. They're able to take down Relech.
And can't do anything. Relech hovered around the bot side jungle when
with the probably demolish, get those plates down, and he was not taking the recall to match Mainter. So Mainter loses a lot, but Razork might have been off.
He's done. Upset now on the way. Wall coming in. Paris already used the portal. Critically, has to flash away himself. The fight just keeps on going. Zombie is winning here. Excellent stun. Relech going over the wall. That A-Truck hitting like a truck. Poby on the way in. Dashing in just in time. Trying to find the extra charm. An extra dash. Reset. Flick back from Vladdy is good to buy a bit more time for the carry duo of Fnatic, but it is a bloodbath on the bottom side.
While...
And GP buffs.
It's like 10 more AP. It'll be completely fine. First tower in the top lane. Goes to Fnatic.
For the TP to complete, hits the perfect charm. Empiros, though, has the shield. Love that change for top laners. Samdi, good ult to chunk Razork and Lospa. Also going to keep the fight going onto Mayntor. Mayntor able to sidestep the knockback. Emperos in the pit. Razor doesn't have flash to get over, so that's Infernal Drake to the side of Navi. Emperos is just going to leave. Spectator
to that
object.
space. They're so reliant on Lost by getting an engage that if they don't find it, there's nothing they can do.
And Navi held the space well, but that looks so
Well,
awful.
that is one possible. I would say that's a terrible trade for Fnatic, but
yeah.
it might be the only option. Is Mayntor just wants to clear the wave here.
Mayntor is like, I wonder if Odoamne is getting like memories of his time. Oh, hang on a minute.
It's not Maokai, so I don't think Odoamne is there yet. But Samdi has been caught out, crucially lost, but going through, not just barely, not enough damage. The Hot Cocoa coming in to keep Samdi standing, but Relapse is going to be forced to flash away as Paris going to move through, rip the portal, and escape. Navi barely holding onto their lives. That's a big advantage for Fnatic.
I mean, it feels tragic though for Fnatic. You really wanted to be able to pick up a kill. You do get the flash from Samdi and Relech, but it was so close. If Epset just was a little bit further ahead, had a little bit more damage, it could have been 2 kills and been a whole different fate for Fnatic. Is now
tower disabled. Charm goes a little bit wide. Fancy footwork coming in from Vladdy as the tower comes back online. Navi realizes there's not much of a play here, but one more dash from Poby should be enough. However, the unraveled earth, Poby! We wanted to see more, and he's giving it to us. They will turn it into a 2-for-1, but Vladdy, it's just a hand stiff.
Vladdy is back, baby. He's able to take the outplay and take down 2. Samdi crucially sniping him with the ultimate, as the action might not be over just yet. Lospa looking for Samdi here.
Runs with the punt. Knocks it back. Upset's very low. But Emperos is here. They have a man advantage, and that's often all you need in League. It's only 2 members of Navi, so they will retreat.
Control the amount of damage they have is something that you cannot afford to underestimate.
So that's part of the power of Navi's game plan, as we just have another fight.
Vladdy stunned up. Paris, can he find the stun? Not quite. Poby finds the charm on a Razor, blocks a lot of the initial damage with the Aegis Assault, but no longer has that cooldown. Might need to get to melee range just to get a Sundered Sky proc, and he does. Mayntor wants to keep the fight going. Lost with the Unbreakable Wills. Poby's forced to pop the ult. TP on the way top. It's a full-on fist fight, but Mayntor got knocked back under tower, and there's nowhere for him to go. A good pick for Fnatic. A minute until the Drake.
A huge overforce from Navi. They were really committed to finding this pick, and they're just not able to find it. And the Baron is alive. That is very low health targets on the side of Navi. Fnatic, though, don't want to...
And Navi are there, but they're a little late to the party. It's Fnatic with first setup. Poby waiting over the wall. Relech trying to poke with the Infernal Change. Mayntor getting chunked out. Lost uses his full combo. They flick back Relech. It's a good start. A charm again, going wide for Poby, but a massive chunk of healing for Relech. It looks like the Thunder Sky is able to proc. Upset continuing to throw down so much damage, and he's basically untouched.
Oh, these
health
HP.
bars in the favor of Navi now as they turn it back as Vladdy gets poked. It's the 3-man knockup. It's Infernal Soul, and it's all going to hell for Fnatic.
It's Dragon for Navi when you fight them at this objective.
I mean, Navi and Dragons is a match made in heaven as they pick up that...
Something I talked about in draft was Ezreal and how he can be a difference maker. And you saw how in the longer the fight goes, if you're landing Qs, that damage sticks. And credit to Sam D. That man is an artist in his ability to land those Qs in that fight and just chip away at Fnatic's HP. Because Upset did his absolute best.
No. There was probably 15 autos in that fight, which is more than most AD carries ever managed to get. It just wasn't enough damage. Just wasn't able to shred through the front line. And you highlighted it so well, too, Jack. With ulti, if you do not one-shot Relech, they burn all their CC trying to kill him. That single auto heals him up 800 HP, and all of your CC has just been spent ineffectively.
Yeah. I mean, that's why...
The poke is unrelenting. It's a scary thing to deal with.
Ulti through the portal. Managed to clip him.
Paris has had a great Bard game. Like, his use of the portals, his ulti that he got in the last fight.
He whiffed 2 of the Qs in the earlier stages of the game.
Fine.
But the rest has been pretty flawless. And once again, they're doing the math problem on if they can kill Relech. For now, the answer is no, but maybe they've got the damage this time around. Nope, it's more healing.
Fnatic, look at the chase here. Upset dashing over the wall, gets the slow up the Relech.
Done. Emperos moving in. Can't get in range for the counter-strike, though, crucially. Vladdy going over the wall, looking to lock up Samdi. He's out of mana. The Qs stop when you run out of mana, but he's shut down for Fnatic.
Breathing. Dodges the charm, so he's able to get out. And then Relech goes low, but with the Thunder Sky, with the ultimate, we have another play. Vladdy is in trouble.
Vladdy's out of mana. Flash from Poby. Foxfire for movement speed. Wall for movement speed. Oh, the Bard's going to finish the job. Oh, Paris trying to hold the tower. Looks like they're willing to concede the Elder to just try and end the game, but we got recalls from Fnatic. Fnatic don't like their odds here as Mayntor is still in the area trying to disrupt them as best as he can.
I mean, Navi called their bluff. They said it's 20 seconds to Elder Dragon. You guys are grouping too early.
Poby hoping to find a flank over the wall. Does catch Razork with the charm before the Aegis Assault can come out, so a bit of health that'll be missing as we go into the fight.
Good damage. Any damage you can find. The poke damage is really, really valuable. Razor getting this red buff will heal him a bit, but there's Sam D with the Qs.
Going in, Lost, but once again, burning a CC on Major, definitely not ideal, but he just can't get into the squishy members of the team.
Look at this setup. Like, they have no vision. They look for picks. How do they approach?
Extra damage. Wall goes down, zoning them away. Navi
Dragon's
content
gone.
to let their jungler just keep going. I mean, it's going to take a while. They have soul, but they don't care. They'll just try to fight 4v5 if they have to. Paris coming back over the wall. Emperor's praying to find the angle. Razork's in, but the ulti is short, and Sam D! Oh, he's just shooting fish in a barrel. Essence Flux, followed by the Arcane Shift. Vladdy now caught out. Oh, a long time. The Decimating Smash going in. Emperor wants to turn it, but the Elder is not there. Fnatic managed to steal it in the meantime. Excuse me.
And Navi have kited them, they've outplayed them. Fnatic are falling by the wayside. And Navi will look to end this game with Reledge taking down Upset as well. It's a 2-0 for Navi up against Fnatic.
Systematic control. Navi get the Elder. Navi get the fight. Navi get everything.
Dominating performance, a 2-0 to kick off their playoffs to continue their journey in the upper bracket up against the winner of our next match today. Fnatic